We got a blog post about modding in Hytale. I know I'm a couple days late, but let's still take a look at what we can expect from the modding scene when Hytale releases. What I love about the Hytale team is that they really see modding as one of the most important parts of the game at launch, which I completely agree on, as we will be stuck with a pretty bare bones game for the first couple of months, and mods will allow players to still get fresh content into the game. Normally you don't see a lot of dev teams hyping up modding this much, so I definitely think this is a good sign. Now the way mods will work in Hytale is pretty interesting, but I do see the visions that the Hytale devs had in mind. In Minecraft, mods are client-sided. This means that the player can download any mods they want, and no matter what world or server they join, they will have those mods enabled. Hytale is going for a server-sided approach. So server owners can specify which mods they want to use in their server, and everyone that joins will automatically have those mods enabled, instead of them needing to manually download these mods. What is good about this approach is that if you are playing on a server with a specific collection of mods and you want to play on a different server with a different selection of mods, you won't have to close the game, change the mods manually and boot the game back up. Instead you can simply just leave the server and join the other one. This does however mean that quality of life mods, like just enough items and mouse tweaks in Minecraft, can only be used if the mod is enabled on the server. If that is a good or a bad thing is up for you to decide. Next, let's dive into how mods are actually built up. In the blog post they mentioned 4 different content categories: server plugins, data assets, art assets and save files. Server plugins will be written in Java and allow modders to make deep modifications to the gameplay. Using server plugins you will be able to create your own system, asset types, events and almost everything you can think of. Data assets will be written in JSON and can be used to define blocks, items, NPCs, world generation and loot tables. Art assets speak for themselves. Everything related to textures, models and sounds are included in here. And lastly, save files. They can be used to share worlds or specific building. This will allow for things like custom structures. This is a pretty standard way to split up content and I think this should be just fine for this game. They also mentioned that they are working on visual scripting like in Unreal Engine. I think this is a good way to empower people that have less experience in programming to still make their own mods. It won't be as powerful as writing the mods in Java, but for smaller and simpler mods this will be an amazing tool. Next up they show some of the tools available on day 1 to start modding. The first thing they show is an asset editor, which can be used to add assets into the game. You can specify things like collision, materials, motion and particles right inside of the editor. To get the actual models and textures for your assets, they decided not to make their own tool, but to use an existing tool called Blockbench and create a plugin for it to make it Hytale compatible. I think this is a good move, as I don't believe Hytale making their own modeling tool would have had a lot of benefits. They also show a screenshot of a temporary graph editor, which is the visual scripting they were talking about. Finally they talk about Machinima tools, I don't know how to say the word, which can be used to create animated films and the creative tools. So that is what we can expect on the modding part of Hytale when it releases. Do note that they mentioned that nothing works perfectly yet, so we will probably experience a lot of bugs in the first few months, but that is just something we will have to deal with. I hope this video was useful, and if you are looking forward to modding Hytale, please like and subscribe, as I will be posting everything that has to do with the modding side of Hytale.